Okay, welcome back to SolidWorks. Today we're going to take some of the parts you've made and turn them into assemblies. An assembly uses multiple individual parts and sticks them together, almost like building something out of Legos, in order to create a larger, more complex design, like an internal engine or a car. Today we're going to make a couple simple ones. Starting with some pieces in assembly A, we're going to get this motor tube and use it to build our assembly. It's a very simple assembly we've got here. This is the motor mount. And what you do when you have a part that you want to make an assembly base out of, you say make assembly from part. Click OK with your motor tube. And the motor tube is now bound and fully defined in this assembly. Now if you click the folder, you'll see an Open in SolidWorks tab and a Desktop tab. Now, these are the two files that are open, the motor tube and the assembly. You could hunt through your computer for the other parts that you'll need, or you could just open them, which is in this case is the centering ring. Minimize that, and now for our assembly, when we want to drag in other parts, just click and drag it over. Now we need 3 of these centering rings on our motor mount. So if you hit Control and click on a piece, you can drag copies of the piece on, and there they are in the part tree. First of all, we need to get these parts onto this tube. Instead of dragging around and placing them on there, just click your inner surface, hold down Shift and click the surface you want it to connect to, and click this little paper clip. This is the mate. Now it will try and do some things automatically. Like it shows a concentric mate. This puts a circle with sharing the same center as another circle. In this case it's the centering ring inner surface and the outer surface of the motor tube. This is good, this is what we want. You could select other types of mates, but we'll see those a little later. Go ahead and click check mark. Now since this ring is stuck on the tube, it can only move this way, it can't move up or down. Let's go ahead and bond these other 2 rings to it. So if you select the outer diameters of both and go ahead and click mate, it wants a concentric mate. You see this little quick access toolbar here with all the mate options. Go ahead and click yes. And while mate is still open, you can click 2 more sides. And now they're all lined up on this tube. Let's click yes. To get these in the proper distances, we'll pick a front side. Let's use this as the front side corresponding to this over here in the drawing. And this will be the back side. Now we see we need one of the rings back surfaces to be 1 inch from this side. Instead of doing that, I'm going to show you something called a coincident mate. If you select the 2 surfaces, they will go right next to each other. Just like a sketch could be defined coincident with an origin or another line, this coincidence will mean these 2 are right on the same plane. You can see them, they're right butted up against each other. If you click this little flip alignment key, it will flip it so that the faces are still touching, they're on the same plane, but they're opposite. We're going to undo because we don't actually want a coincident mate here. Instead, we'll click this and this side, and we will select distance mate. It's right here in the quick bar, or it's down here. This allows us to enter into a numeric value, which in this case is 1 inch. Yes, and there it is, 1 inch away from the end, which is where we want it. Click yes. Where's the next one? 13.5 inches. This side, not coincident, 13.5 inches. 13.5 inches. And this one, 5.55 inches. That's an interesting number. You know, I'm just going to make that 5.5 inches because I don't think it matters here. But there's the motor mount. It's pretty simple, 3 rings on a tube. You can drag pieces. You'll see coincident mates, concentric mates, distant mates. If it was a line or a flat piece, you could select parallel or perpendicular, or putting a flat piece on a curve, you could select tangent. But that is simple assembly operation right there. You'll be able to practice more with those in your worksheets, and we'll begin to take all these parts we've made and turn them into something that should be pretty cool, a larger assembly. Good luck, guys.